we went to the birth center. All right, there's a birth center in my neck of the woods, which is really cool. As I talked about before, I actually had some pretty decent hospital experiences. My hospital experience with Sophie was I think pretty good. Like I said, no one ever talked to me about any extra drugs. No one talked to me about, you know, and the stuff I didn't like that they offered, they would, you know, it just worked out well. Like they didn't talk to me about, you know, the Pitocin or the cesarean like I asked them not to, blah, blah, blah. So, and with Grayson, they did a little bit, but it was because they didn't, I had a doctor switch, so they didn't, the nurses didn't know exactly, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, go watch those videos, because if you want to just hear about why I went to the birth center, that's fine too, but, okay, so basically, I had 2 pretty good hospital experiences. And I did, like most of you know, I did end up having Sophia naturally. So I know I can do it. So I wanted to visit a birth center because I kind of feel like, unfortunately, having a no or low medicated birth at a hospital where they're not pushing Pitocin and they're not hurrying you off to cesarean sections, and it's unfortunately, that's rare. It shouldn't be. It should be normal, but it's not. It's rare. And so I almost feel like I got kind of lucky the first 2 times, and will that happen again the 3rd time? You know, it's just, this is my last, you know, this will probably be the last baby. I don't want to, you know, be definite, because you never know, but I don't know. So I wanted to, I'm not necessarily sure this is what I want, but I wanted to visit and at least have it as an option, and so did Kyle. So we went and visited a birth center, and they gave us like this packet, and it was really cool. It was like, oh, the facility was beautiful. It's a house. It's an old house, and they just, you know, kind of converted it to be a little bit more like a business, I guess, in the front. But like the birthing rooms are bedrooms. Like, they're awesome. It was a really comforting environment. There's a team of 4 midwives. One's a junior, so 3 main ones and 1 junior one. And they were all really nice and encouraging, and I really liked them a lot. And so I liked knowing that that's an option. And you know, we're not even pregnant yet, and so I don't know. The only thing is, I was hoping that when I went to the birth center, I would walk in, I would talk to them, and I would know either, no, this is not what I want to do, or yes, this is definitely what I do. I was hoping that like it would make the answer clear to me, like the path I want to go, but it didn't. So, yeah. So here are the things that, I don't know, it's so hard to describe. I really liked it. Like, I liked the environment and everything. They do home births too. You can pick, you know, you get to do what you want. I'm one of those people though, I'm actually like, I would rather go somewhere to give birth. I know that's weird, right? I completely see the benefits of having a home birth, and like how nice it would be to be in your own room, and to, you know, when everything's done, you can be in your bed with your new baby and you can fall asleep and you're home already, and I get that. But I'm really weird about like the idea of the mess. I know that's weird. That's like, so to me, like I kind of like the idea of going to a birthing center, because it's like I would be in a home environment, but I'm not in my house where I'm thinking about the mess being made in my house, because I'm the type of person that would worry about that. I know that's stupid. I'm going to be the first to admit it. Who cares, right? But I'm just being honest. Like, for some reason that like gets in my head, and I try to get over it, but I'm just like, it would bother me too much. So I think that home births are really perfect for most people who are into that kind of thing. But for me, I think a birthing center birth would be the better option, just because I think that the stuff that stresses me out is that kind of thing, and so that would be the answer. So I was definitely like told them I was interested in the birthing center birth, especially after seeing the place and just how nice it was. And it's really cool. It's actually about the same. It's actually about the same distance from my house as the hospital where I had the kids, so it's really close. Okay, so yeah, and they would let me have a water birth, because that's what I would want. I definitely would want to, well, I say that, you never know. I have plenty of friends who want to have water births who end up like never having births in the water. Not from lack of trying, so you don't know. But I like the idea of at least being in the water sometimes. I wanted to have a water birth with Sophia, and the hospital was like, we don't do that. I was like, whatever, hospital. I think they do now too, which is what's funny. So, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, so I think it was good. I think it was a good for us to know. I asked them too, because of my blood pressure issues and stuff. I was like, because they were like, we don't take some people who are high risk, blah, blah, blah. And so it was funny because they said, they acted like it wasn't a big deal. But then when they were giving us the speech about people that they don't take, they were like, and it's high risk, they were like, in high blood pressure, you know, and I was like, well, that's what I had, ladies. So I need to email them and ask them more specifically, because there were other people there. It was like a meet the midwives type of thing. So yeah, because I don't even know. But we asked all the right questions about like the transfer to the hospital, and you know, if they're needed to be, and you know, that we learned their history, and it was great. You know, I felt very confident in the actual women. And they were saying it was so nice at the birth center because instead of like lugging all the equipment, which they don't mind doing, of course, they like home birth, but they said it was nice because everything was there and everything was super sterile and not in like a hospital way, just in like the appropriate way. And their birthing pool was like really good. You know, most moms I see, they just get like a pool. That's fine. Just sets up, you know, but they had this like deep, it was like super high, deep, like awesome looking birthing pool, and I was like, oh yeah, can I just get in that now? So it looked really cool. So anyway, so I'm still not sure. So my other option is this is it. So we're either gonna go with the birthing center if they'll have me with my crazy blood pressure issues when I'm pregnant, or if we don't do that, if I decide to stay with the hospital, or if they tell me that in my situation I might be better off at the hospital, blah blah blah, whatever. I want a doula, definitely. So that's part of why, if you want, you can go watch with Grace, and I was talking about like support. I needed more support when I was having Grayson. It was, you know, 3, 4 in the morning. Kyle was trying to be supportive, but he was out of it. And it was just me battling my own head, and I needed a doula. Like, I needed a support system there, like I did. And I love Kyle, and he is so great. And if you go and watch our videos of me giving birth to Sophia, you see him throughout it just whispering into my ear, and he was basically encouraging me and telling me how amazing I was, and he was so great. And with Grayson, it's not that he didn't do the same thing. And like I said, it was 4 in the morning and he was out of it. It just wasn't, I needed more. So definitely 100%, if I'm doing the hospital thing, I want a doula with me. Hiring a doula. I've already looked up like 20 of them so I can talk to them all, you know. So yeah. But anyway, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go the birth center route or if I'm gonna go the hospital route, but with the doula. Those are my options. That's what I'm considering. Those two things. Like that's pretty much it. So yeah, it's cool too that we have this option, that the birth center's new. It's 2 years old, so it wasn't even here with Sophia. And I didn't even know about it with Grayson. I had never even heard of it. I guess it would have been brand new then, if I'm doing my math right. Heck, they might not even have opened when I first was pregnant with him. I don't even know. But yeah, so that's neat. And as far as like cost go, everybody always tells me that having a birth center birth or a home birth is usually cheaper. It's not for us. It's not cheaper. It's so the cost for home birth or the birth center birth is actually the same with them. If you make an early payment, this place is $5,000. That's early payment. It's an early discount. If you do it in the normal time frame, it's $6,500. It's actually cheaper with our insurance to go to the hospital, believe it or not, even with the lap fees and stuff. And that's because we have a plan where we have a certain deductible, and once we meet it, which is below that amount, once we meet it, everything is 100% paid for, everything. So yeah, so they do take insurance. I don't know if they take our insurance. That's another thing. Kyle said he's gonna have to look into it. So we're gonna have to see if they take our insurance or not. But we're not really, we're not going to make our decision based on the money. It is what it is. That's not how we're going to make our decision. Kyle already had told me that, you know, reassured me. He's like, if you want to go here, he's like, we'll pay it. No big deal. So, and you do have to pay for like the ultrasound separately. You only get one with them, unless they're concerned about something, because they don't like to do too many ultrasounds. And that's one thing too that I was a little bit like, because they only give you the one in the middle. And I know, like, you don't want to have excessive amounts of ultrasound. I totally get it. I've read all this stuff about that. But I really would like to have one at the beginning. I like to have that like time frame. And I also know that babies do not have, you know, a timer on them. But I still like to know about and to get the good guesstimate, especially because I don't have a typical cycle. So basing my due date around my last period could make my due date off by a couple of weeks. So mine really needs to be based more on ovulation, and then really based more on the size, and that's what you get at the first trimester. So I would probably pay extra to have that one done, just to get kind of a better guideline, better scope of when the babies do. So, and they said that the ultrasound, the one at the middle, the only one they do, it's like $175, but you do get DVDs and stuff, so that's cool. They do them once a month at the birth center. Once a month they have the ultrasounds, and you just make your appointment and come in. So, and that $5,000 or $6,500 depending on when you pay, it does include all of the equipment. It includes all that. So that's cool. So I think that's why some people's are cheaper, but they have to pay for some of their own equipment. Like if you're at home, they have to like pay for their own pool and stuff. And I think you don't even have to do that. I think this one actually covers that. They'll bring something. But that includes, you know, all the basic testing. They still do some of the blood tests and stuff that you get with the real doctor, you know. It includes all of that. You know, I mean, it includes a lot. It really does. So it's not a bad price. It's just I was kind of hoping it would be a lot cheaper, and it wasn't. But that's okay. So awesome. So there we go. So now I gotta figure it out. I don't even know. Like I said, I was really hoping I was gonna walk out of that place being like, yay or nay. And I walked out of that place being like, I don't know. So I gotta just think about it, like hardcore think about it. And also I need to talk to them about like my specific situation with my blood pressure. Because like I said, I got some conflicting information from them about that. So blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right, so there we go. So that was my experience. Now, obviously, I did not film in the birth center because that would have been highly inappropriate, I think. So I wish I could have, though. It's beautiful. It's like hardwood floors and like gorgeous beds. And like I said, that crazy fancy like jacuzzi birth tub. I was like, what the? It's like a swimming pool. It was so awesome. I was like, you guys have a swanky setup. So anyway, okay, that's it for now. Bye, guys.